that's better. Okay, so then unplug that. Then unplug that. Ugh, I unplugged my heat gun. I was like, I knew I unplugged something of value. Okay, let's unplug this. Plug my heat gun in. And that's better lighting for y'all. Okay. Oh yeah, that's way better. My chaos. Okay, so I'm gonna do an acrylic flow tumbler. Like the ones I had shared. I had already shipped out my other one that I had done, the Archer one. So I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be like this. Here's a few more. I had the little 20 ounce and my 4-year-old took it to the pool. So this one is pretty fun too. So there's a couple examples of what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna make 2. I couldn't decide on a color scheme, so I just decided on 2. I'm gonna do, I add white to everything. Even though I do a white base, it just breaks it up a little bit. So I put white for the most part in everything. Except like this Jurassic one, I just put a little gray in there instead of white. Here, example. Exact same color scheme. One has a white and one doesn't. This one I added white to. Should I change this light at all? Move it back a little bit. Maybe that'll be helpful. Okay, that's better. Added white to this one. Added no white to this one. Huge difference. Oh, here's one with no white either. Maybe I should do one with white and one without white. So we can see the difference. Okay, so here's the colors I was thinking. What about one of this for one? So we have like a teal sea foam, a blue, navy, and some purple. I thought that'd be pretty. And then I kind of wanted to do like a neon type of thing. So like yellow, blue, green, and some pink. I was thinking something like that. Let me know if you think I should change it up or if those are some good colors. I don't know, I'm really obsessing with this color scheme. Super excited. We'll start with that one over here. Okay, and I usually use Pro Marine to do all my base work, just like my cheap epoxy to use as glue, if you will. I don't really like sealing anything on the top coat with anything other than I really like Faux Rizzle, which is, I'm going to use Faux Rizzle for the whole thing today because I'm out of everything. So there you have it. We're going to work with what we have instead of panicking and going to get more stuff. And the likelihood of me getting glitter in something is high because I have glitter everywhere all the time. So doing non-glitter cups are hard for me. Even when it's completely perfect, for some reason glitter gets in it. I don't understand. So I'm an eyeball measurer. I don't like measuring with other things. So I just do it this way. And so I'm doing 2 cups and I'm mixing in here. I'm kind of making a lot. And I more than likely will make too much, but then I'll pour something for one of my other projects. I've got layers I'm working on, so. Also, a big key to this is don't use too much. And then I'm going to show you how I mix the tackiness up in each color. Because if you don't mix it enough and it's too watery or liquidy or runny in a sense, you'll get some issues that I'll show you my flaws in some of my stuff. So you know what to look for. kind of let that settle there for a minute. Oh, quite good, I'd say. Okay, so if you add too much, you can kind of see it here. You see how it like bubbles up and you get like that lip? And then you get this like awful bubble, and you can kind of, you see it? It will have your cup sit really, really awful. And it'll just like move all the time. You don't want that. And you can't sand it because it's been acrylic. So you'll ruin the design. You can't fix it. You just have to learn. So I've learned if I put more paint in the, like each little cup that I mix, then it will not shift as much and fall to the end. If you use more epoxy than paint ratio, and I'll show you what I mean by the difference, then it's just gonna like free flow too much, if you will, and you'll kind of get this muddled mess. So you have to kind of play with it until you get that, you know, that like Elmer's glue mixed with slime, kind of like that stringy kind of consistency. That's kind of what you want. I'm a very quick mixer too, so any of y'all that mix slow, I'm really sorry. I got 3 kids, I'm ADD, I make tie-dye for a living too, like I'm real fast paced. So that's why I like my heat gun. That's why I love glitter, and I hate, absolutely hate solid cups, non-glitter cups. Ugh. Because then I have to be really careful. Because when you do this, you're already mixing again in here. You're going to get all that. You're kind of giving it a chance to air out and breathe before. And then you're stringing it across, so it gives it a chance to kind of break apart as well. I haven't had any bubbles, any issues like that in my acrylic flows for being a quick mixer. And when I say quick, I want to be like quick. I would say more of like tastefully mixing. And I like to use the warmth of my hand too. I can't see any comments. I'm sure there's some. I feel awful. I've never done a live before, y'all. I'm sorry. So this is probably more just like a tutorial then. So any shared comments on, so the next time I do this, if y'all like it, I can do it again and do it right. I have an iPad, I have a computer, but I only have my phone on me. Oh, hey, there's an interaction. We're somewhere. All right, as long as we're doing it right and y'all can see my crazy ass self, we'll get somewhere. And I like to use the UV resin, by the way, by Faux Result. Thank you for the kind words, y'all. I'm trying to do this while one is sleeping, one is at the pool, and one is at their dad's house. House is a mess. Nothing has been done, but we're getting a tutorial done. And I don't like to put too thick of a coat on my cups because I'm already going to be adding so much down here anyways. Look at that. I'm a left one anyway, so we're just gonna swipe here. And I like my things to rotate to the left. There we go. Yeah, there's already glitter in here, so good thing These are not for men. I mean, I don't think it matters. A fleck or two won't kill nobody. Oh yeah. They don't give you any time to do anything. And my husband, God bless him, he can't do shit. He's a hard worker, but his brain don't function like that. He is cooking dinner tonight because he wants chicken and dumplings, and I refuse to cook chicken and dumplings. That's way too much work that I ain't got time for right now. I'm going an acrylic flow tumbler like this. Let's see if I can put it somewhere for y'all to see while you can kind of peek it right there while I'm laying this. And I like my epoxy and paint to not be as runny, so the fact that it's taking a minute to get to it ain't no problem. That's why I'm putting it on here first, so it has a chance to kind of turn and move and groove. Swirl cup is right. Now I like to do 2 different methods in my swirl, so I'm going to do a side to side and then I'm going to do an up and down, kind of like when you'll do your marbles, which I'm still too terrified to try. I love my geodes. I'll geode all day long, but don't let me marble. It's like kryptonite to me. I don't know why. And I don't like to put a lot on my bottom because the bottom is the coolest when you leave it to the paint. I've noticed if I put too much to start on the bottom, it just gets muddled, and then you have the tendency to get that accidental hiccup of that bubble, and then it won't sit right. My neighbors come and watch me do this all the time, and it's funny because they were like, oh, I want to watch your live. I'm like, oh, you can't, you're not in my group. So they all want to see it when I'm done. They like just watching this specific method because it just is so cool. You have a new love for marble, then I should probably try it. I'm terrified. I think I'm scared because after you watch this method, you tell me if it's similar, because this method is fine. It's like, it's really no care. You just kind of fling it where you want and where it looks good. As marble, I feel like you have to have more method to your madness. That's why I think I'm more scared about the marble. I call this method acrylic flow. I call it a flow tumbler is what I call it. Some people call it swirl. I like to say flow because I let the paint flow as it wishes, as it pleases down the tumbler. You'll see what I mean. I like to call it a flow. In my listings, I say flow. In my listings, let's get real. I have like 2 on Etsy. My cups just sell. I need to list more. It's really hard to create and manage at the same time. I know y'all as moms and even as people who have like multiple jobs and are doing this, like, I don't know about y'all, but I do this for my mental health. So creating makes me happy. I could sit and create all day long. No big deal. You want me to manage it too? Ooh. I manage all these people in this house. And people want to at work. I ain't got time to manage myself, too. I'm too busy taking care of myself in that little moment that I'm giving myself to create. So, I'm working on that right now. Okay. So after I hit it with the epoxy, it's like just a real thin layer. I'm going to pop any bubbles that I see quickly. And then I'm gonna, after I pop my bubbles, I'm gonna let it just kind of rotate while I get the rest ready. I know, I could create and create and create. It is so healing, I agree. And I love supporting other creators. I think my favorite thing to do is like buy other people's creations and spend my money on craft stuff. Oh, and get tattoos. Because that's obviously healing as well. Okay. So, I usually use these little cups. Maybe I should use these instead today so you can see. Where the hell did they go? Really? Okay, well, moving on. Oh, found them. We'll use these so they're clear. So you can see what I'm doing instead of these other ones. And I order these on Amazon, and I order them without the lids, because get real, I don't need the lids. I'm using them to mix stuff with. And they're cheaper. I think they were like $5 for a set of 100 of them with no lids. FYI. I can link it below when I'm done if y'all need. If I remember. Let's get real. Okay. So there's this little 2-ounce ones. I shake my paint up. That's enough for me. And I don't pop it over the lid because you don't know what's gonna form little crunchies. Okay, so here we go. Clear 2-ounce lid. I mean, that's a good little chunk of paint down there at the bottom. And I probably will add more. We'll see. It just depends on how it feels. I'll show you what I mean. Oh shit, see? I didn't even open it and the little pucker came out too. And some paint is thicker than others. I just wiped that on my rug because I don't care. It's a craft room. And if a color seems too transparent, we're gonna add an alternate color. Like I have a yellow over here that I love. It comes out way too like clear. Can't see shit when on there. It's not as pretty. I mix a little bit of a different yellow in there just to give it a little base, and it helps. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the white over here. Oh, this blue be poppin'. It is. And this pink, I haven't used this pink yet. I don't know if you can see. It's like my nails. Boop. It's gonna be good. I was supposed to use this on a cup a while back and I forgot that I had it. So I'm super excited to use it now. Oh, this cup is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so like this yellow I love. it's not bright. So I'm gonna use this dark glow-in-the-dark yellow too. It probably won't be very glow-in-the-dark unless I add my glow powder to it, but I don't like to add glow powder to anything but the epoxy. Just doesn't mix very well. Okay. Here we go. So now we're gonna do our epoxy to paint ratio. Now I gotta sit it down to do it, so I'll show you. So I put a little bit more in the darker colors. The lighter colors, they just don't need as much to run for some reason. They're not as thick as the darker colors. So let's see. And everyone gets their own stick at the party. Okay. So as I stir, it's going to be real runny. You see how it just kind of runs? So the epoxy is fine. That's plenty for both cups. But it might need more paint. Let's see. So when you first start stirring, it's pretty runny. And then as you stir, you see it get tacky. That's what you want. To be tacky like that. See how I said kind of slimy, if you will? Ooh, this purple's good too. Look at that purple. Oh yeah. This one needs a little bit more epoxy. Because it's like clumpy like a shaving cream, and we want it to be more like glue. Yeah, it's better. It's getting better. Okay, now we're like clay. It's this paint. It's got to be this paint. See, sometimes you'll need way more epoxy than you think because the paint is acting cray. And it's not my epoxy yet because we're not that far. Oh, this purple is awful. See, you never know. This is a new purple I got. Look at it. I could do like that donut tutorial with this. Okay. Scratch the purple. And sometimes I have to do that. Sometimes I'm like, well, we're moving on because we're on a time frame. Yep, see? It's kind of what you want. I know, the end result's my favorite. So like we're gonna lay it and then it's gonna look completely different in a couple hours. I mean, not completely different, but pretty close. So instead of purple over here, what should we do? Okay, so it's these thicker paints because these thinner ones are beautiful. See, I'm going to start laying this. Here we go. You ready? And I'm going to do this one I said across. You see how it's like glue? And you can kind of just like and mess with it. And I bring it up the back of the cup. Oh, my turner's awful, y'all. I forgot to tell you. It's no amount of grease has helped this poor baby. Okay, you're just kind of lay it in there. I'm gonna do some over here because I feel like it needs, I'm gonna run it up the cup too. And sometimes I do that if it is a different kind of, like, I want this to kind of be a background bit lay over here. So I'm gonna do it, yeah. You're just like, literally there's no wrongdoing. It's just playing at this point. You just kind of got to go with the flow. You see how I call it a flow tumbler for a reason? Oh, lavender. Okay, we'll go grab some lavender. That's a good idea. I really think the purple would be pretty in it. You're right. So we should go grab that lavender. Sometimes, like this one I touched the cup, this one I did not. It just depends on how it's flowing. If it's flowing nice, then I won't touch it. If it needs a little assistance, because the cup has got the epoxy on it already, so it's got some free flow to it already. This is that new color. And it's like that purple. See, and I'm going to touch this one over here, because this one is really jacking with me. It's these new paints I got. Y'all, okay, so I like using the folk art the best. They're my favorite. And it really is just like, you're just throwing shit on here. This one needs some more too. And it really is just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until you reach your right kind of like ratios. See how this yellow's doing down here. So I put this pink on here and it is not moving. It's actually pissing me off. So what I also like to do is I'll take a popsicle stick, and if something's not moving how I want it to do it, I'll just take it away. Because it's pissing me off. And I'll also take the heat gun to it. And I also like Pro Marine for this reason. It shifts a lot more. So I like using Pro Marine to do acrylic flows because of the shifts. Like, it is really hard to get a good shift with this. It actually might be a ruined tumbler, y'all. This pink, which is new, isn't doing anything it's supposed to be doing. Okay, this one's working really nicely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to recover, but if not, we're just gonna wipe it all down and we're gonna do it again. So Pro Marine I use mostly as my base. Y'all might get to watch a fail video. That's how my Monday's going. If I fail, we will have a redemption and I'll order Pro Marine and I'll show you the difference in the two. Because from failure comes great success. This one I'm pretty sure is a wash. Like, fuck you, tumbler. But we'll try to recover this one. Oh, and my phone just told me it's about to die. Yes, happy Monday. I swear. Okay, if this completely fails, I don't even know. Let me put some gloves on. Okay, so this one is starting to shift, but not like I want it to. And I know it's because I'm not using the base I usually use. So what we're gonna do is kind of help it along. And I don't use a popsicle stick more than once because I don't want it to bring the colors back through. And then I'm gonna go, I don't even think I have enough epoxy for lavender. I think I'm gonna have to make some more, which I might even. Y'all, if this fails, I'm gonna show you how I redo a cup. Because I have failed like in this process before and had to redo this cup on top of the cup without having to strip. And I'm gonna, if this one fails, which I'm pretty sure it's failing already, I'm gonna show y'all how I do that. I think I'm just gonna scrape a lot of this off. So the color, the neon one, so fail. And it's gonna be because of the, I think 2 reasons. I think it's because of the paint I used. I tried actual, okay, so I like cheap acrylic paint, super cheap acrylic paint. Oh, you could flip it over and use the other side of the stick. I don't think like that sometimes. Right now I'm panicking about this because it's awful. This one might be able to be fixed. This one is so bad. You know what I'm gonna use to get this off? I'm gonna go grab my epoxy wipes. And if y'all have not seen these yet, you're gonna be really excited. Let me go grab them. Actually, this does look kind of cool though. Dough. They're like grippy epoxy wipes. Okay, so I get epoxy in my hair all the time. I have really long hair and I never wear it how I should. And my husband found these for me. Let me close them and then I'll show them to y'all. Okay. Oh my gosh. We'll just take one more out then. We'll use it. So it's Surf Resolve Pro Wipes. It literally removes anything it says. And when I get epoxy in my hair, when I get epoxy on my desk, because I'm constantly creating on my desk, like this, I'm just gonna literally take all this epoxy off so that when I'm ready to show y'all the better way to do this, because I'm gonna order the Pro Marine. It just works so much more beautifully. I love the outcome of it. I'm kind of feeling like a joke right now with this. I know I'm not, but let's just go with real thoughts for a moment. But this one's turning really nicely, even with it being thick. So, gets it out of your hair, gets it off of your skin, gets it off of your, and it's when it's wet, not dried, y'all. Like, wet epoxy. Like right now in my fail, I'm cleaning my cup with my wipes, and when it's done, I can wash it and redo it for y'all. Yes. Yes. When you get that wet epoxy on your clothes and you're like, ah, just grab one of these. They're textured on one side and not. I have literally saved a lot of things because I wear my tie-dye that I love so much and I don't want it to be crusty with epoxy bubbles all over it like my jeans are right now, or my jean shorts are. I don't think you should definitely use it in your eyes. Definitely not. I got them at... Oh, I can't believe my eyes. I didn't read the comment above it before that one. I got them at the special effects store. Yeah. The special effects store is the shit, y'all. If y'all don't know about the special effects store, it's called Reynolds Materials. I'm about to blow y'all's minds. So even if I failed at one cup, I'm going to give y'all some other knowledge. Okay, look at that. Completely clean and ready to be redone. Boom. Okay. Since all this is a fail, I'm going to get it out of the way and show y'all some other things. Since I have a lot of y'all on the horn right now. Okay. Glow pigment. I know we all get it. I love my glow pigment from Solar Color Dust. I kind of like my glow pigment from Amazon. I'm more than obsessed with my glow pigment from Reynolds Materials. I even take it to put it in my dip nails so that my dip nails glow. So I'll link the company below, but they have a epoxy tint. So if you want something transparent and you don't want it opaque, but you still want it bright and vivid, I'll go grab them and show you. Okay, I just grabbed a few examples. So this is the neon tints, and they literally tint your epoxy to look like this. Now I added glitter to the side and it sunk. You see it? There it is. But this is just tint, and I put it on my cups too. It's really cool, and they do classes. Okay. I put WD-40 on this turner and it doesn't work. It's the inner workings in the gear. I've literally bathed this thing in WD-40. I ignored it at this point. It's like my children. You get to a point where you can just ignore things. Okay. Clean the cup. We'll come back to it tomorrow. I'll order same day shipping or whatever on Amazon. Get the epoxy. Get it here. This one I'll post pictures after it's done turning, and then we'll get to a better version of this manana.